Hello, my name is Choi Jae-hyuk, student of Contemporary East Asian Politics and Economy. Today I want to talk about recent trends of cross-strait relations. Cross-strait relations is a relation between China and Taiwan. Majority of Koreans don't know what this term cross-strait relation means and what's happening in this area these days. So I want to talk about this topic today. Firstly, in this presentation, we will talk about what is cross-strait relations, and after that, we will talk about recent trends of Taiwan. And because of these recent trends, China made some actions toward Taiwan. So finally, we will talk about these actions. What is cross-strait relations? To understand cross-strait relations, we have to understand Chinese Civil War first. Chinese Civil War was a war between PRC and ROC, which was Communism Party, and the ROC, which is a Democracy Party. This war happened on the mainland of China. As we all know, Communism won in this civil war, and Democracy Party had to retreat from mainland, so they retreated to Taiwan Island. Although they retreated from the mainland of China, they still insisted that they are the owner of mainland of China, and the PRC is just illegally occupying their mainland. They still insisted that they are the real China. This is the One China policy of ROC. But when it comes to PRC, they also had their own One China policy. They insisted that they are the real China, and the Taiwan Island is just a territory, it's just a province of China. And they said ROC is not a country. Although both China has their own China policy, as we all know, PRC has much more power in global society than ROC these days. So PRC tries to isolate the ROC from global society to insist that ROC is just a territory of PRC. One big example happened in 1971. In 1971, PRC ousted ROC from China's seat from United Nations to insist that PRC is the real China and ROC is not a China. They want to insist that ROC is not a country. We talked about One China policy of both PRC and ROC. We can know that ROC has their One China policy and they wanted to make their One China with democracy. But these days, ROC, which is called Taiwan these days, their trends has changed. Firstly, we have to talk about change of Taiwanese public opinion. In survey conducted in 2014, 67.16% of Taiwanese agreed to create their own country, not related to China. And moreover, younger generations, who are under 40 ages, are more likely to view China as an enemy, not a friend or not a brother to reunite with. Finally, 60.67% of Taiwanese are negative to reunion with mainland China. So, by these statistics, we can conclude that Taiwanese want their own independent Taiwan, not one China, or not a reunion with China mainland. Because of these public opinions, Taiwan government had changed from KMT government, whose president was Ma Ying-jeou, to DDP government, whose president is Tsai Ing-wen in 2016. The difference of those two governments is about accepting 1992 consensus. Talking about 1992 consensus would be too long, so let me make sure the 1992 consensus is related to One China policy between Taiwan and China. When it comes to China, 1992 consensus is quite important because they can ensure that Taiwan is thinking about One China. When it comes to KMT government, when it comes to Ma Ying-jeou and KMT government was quite friendly to China, so they agreed to 1992 consensus. But when it comes to DDP government and Tsai Ing-wen these days, they didn't make any official position until now, and they also claimed sovereignty of Taiwan's territory. By these clues, we can think that DDP government and Tsai Ing-wen is thinking about their own independent Taiwan, not a one China. China surely don't like Tsai Ing-wen and the DDP government, so they made some actions toward Taiwan. We can divide the actions with retaliation and conciliation. When it comes to retaliation, there are two big retaliations. One is economic retaliation, and second one is military warnings. When it comes to economic retaliations, there are two big news, which was happened in 2019. They banned China banned Chinese tourism into Taiwan to attack tourism industry of Taiwan. And the other big news is related to Taiwan pineapple. In March of 2021, they regulated import of Taiwan pineapple into the mainland of China because of harmful bugs. We have to talk about military warnings now. Military warnings becoming much more severe these days because China noticed that Taiwan and America is making some agreements related to American arms. Taiwan and America made agreements about importing American arms into the Taiwan island. So in 2021 January, China made some military warnings by mobilizing fighter plane into the air defense zone of Taiwan. And they also warned that if Taiwan import those American arms into their island, then they should think of all-out war between China and Taiwan. Although China made these strong retaliations toward Taiwan, they also made conciliations. They especially made conciliations toward the younger Taiwanese generations, because we talked about earlier that younger generations of Taiwanese think China as an enemy, not a friend or a brother to reunite with. So they tried to change these younger generations of Taiwanese by giving educational conciliations, by giving opportunity and benefits for younger Taiwanese to get education and job at China. It was made in 2019. When it comes to Taiwan, but however, they think that this conciliation is just a strategy about taking away Taiwanese educated people into China. After all, China made these kind of quite strong retaliations and quite tempting conciliations toward Taiwan to change public opinions of Taiwan and to give some damage to Taiwan government, Taiwan DDP government and Tsai Ing-wen. Today we talked about cross-strait relations and what is happening in these relations these days. My opinion is, as we all know, country is made by citizen, and Taiwan's public opinion is talking about independence. I think Taiwan independent would be more better than one China policy of China. But there must be some other complicated problems in this area. So after all of these fightings and arguments, I hope there will be a peace in both area, China and Taiwan. Thank you for listening my presentation. Thank you. This is my bibliography.